Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to welcome you all today. Thank you for joining this session. Today, we're going to explore an important milestone in everyone's career journey, retirement. Our presentation is titled, What is Retirement? And it will give you a clear understanding of this significant phase in an individual's life. We'll look at what retirement really means, the different types of retirement, and why it's a crucial part of our professional journey. Over the next few slides, I'll guide you through these key points in a straightforward and engaging way. So, let's get started and explore the world of retirement together. Superannuation retirement is essentially the point when an employee stops working because they have reached the prescribed retirement age as per the service rules. It's important to understand that this process is automatic, meaning there's no need for any notice or application from the employee's side. Once the age is reached, retirement happens seamlessly according to the rules. For example, in Himachal Pradesh, the official retirement age for state government employees is 58 years. Similarly, for central government employees, it's slightly higher at 60 years. Now, the key point here is that this retirement age is fixed under the fundamental rules, specifically FR 56A, and applies across most government services. However, there are some exceptions. Certain categories of employees, like university teachers, judicial officers, or doctors, may have different retirement ages, which are notified separately by the state government. So overall, the main takeaway is that retirement is a built-in part of the service rules, designed to ensure a structured transition, and it varies slightly depending on the category of employment. This concept ties into the broader theme of planning for retirement and understanding your entitlements and timelines. Now, let's talk about voluntary retirement, or VRS as it's commonly known. Essentially, it means that an employee chooses to retire on their own before reaching the usual age of superannuation. This decision is entirely voluntary and occurs after they've completed the minimum qualifying service, as outlined in the rules. VRS offers employees the flexibility to retire early for various reasons, whether it's personal, family, health concerns, or simply the desire to pursue other interests. It's important to note that this is not a penalty or a forced retirement. It's a choice they make willingly. Now, let's look at the key conditions that make someone eligible for VRS. First, the employee must be a permanent staff member who has completed the minimum qualifying service. Typically, that's around 20 years. Second, the employee should be above 50 years of age, according to rules like FR 56K or Rule 48A of the CCS pension rules from 1972. Another important point is the notice period. The employee is required to give a written notice 3 months in advance to the appropriate authority. Sometimes, this notice period can be waived or shortened if there's approval. Finally, it's reassuring to know that employees opting for VRS receive pension and retirement benefits similar to those who retire normally. Remember, VRS is purely voluntary. It's not a disciplinary action or a penalty in any way. It's simply an option available to employees who want to retire early, under the right conditions. Now, let's talk about compulsory retirement. Essentially, this means that an employee can be asked to retire before reaching the usual age of superannuation, but only in specific circumstances. It is done in the public interest, such as if the employee is found to be inefficient, doubtful in integrity, or unfit to continue in service. This process is governed by Rule FR 56J, which applies mainly to central government employees, but is also adopted by many state governments, including Himachal Pradesh. For Group A and B government employees, compulsory retirement can happen after they turn 50 years old or after completing 30 years of qualifying service, whichever comes first. Similarly, for Group C employees, the retirement can occur after they reach 55 years or after 30 years of service, again, whichever comes earlier. It's important to highlight that compulsory retirement is not considered a punishment. When an employee is retired in this manner, they still retain their pension, gratuity, and other retirement benefits. Now, as for the key points, first, the government gives a notice period of 3 months, or if they prefer, they can pay the employee in lieu of that notice. And second, I want to emphasize that compulsory retirement under service rules is a procedural action, not a disciplinary penalty, so it doesn't affect the employee's pension and benefits. This process ensures that the integrity and efficiency of public service are maintained, while also safeguarding the rights and benefits of the employees involved. Now, let's talk about premature retirement. This occurs when an employee is retired before reaching the usual age of superannuation, but it's important to understand that this isn't due to the employee's choice or misconduct. Instead, it's typically for administrative reasons. For example, sometimes the post itself may no longer exist, perhaps because of organizational restructuring or cost-cutting measures. It's key to differentiate premature retirement from voluntary retirement, where an employee chooses to retire on their own accord. Similarly, it's different from compulsory retirement, which is usually based on performance or integrity issues. In cases of premature retirement, the employee still receives their pension and other retirement benefits, provided they've completed the necessary qualifying service. The decision to retire prematurely is made by the competent authority, following established service rules. Overall, this concept ties back into our broader discussion on workforce management and organizational efficiency. It highlights how administrative decisions can impact employee careers, often balancing organizational needs with employee rights. Now, let's discuss medical retirement, which is a special provision for employees who are unable to continue their service due to medical reasons. Essentially, it means that an employee is retired before reaching the usual age of superannuation because they are permanently unfit to work. This unfitness must be certified by a qualified medical authority, ensuring that the decision is based on a proper medical assessment. The key thing to remember here is that medical retirement is not a punishment or a disciplinary measure. It's a compassionate provision that recognizes the employee's inability to continue service due to health issues. When an employee is medically retired, they become eligible for benefits like invalid pension or disability pension, depending on the applicable rules, such as the CCS, pension, rules of 1972, specifically Rule 38. Another important point is that, in certain cases, pension can be granted even if the employee has not completed the minimum qualifying service. This helps provide financial security to those who are genuinely unable to work because of health reasons. Overall, medical retirement underscores the importance of caring for employees' well-being and ensuring that they receive full pensionary benefits when they can no longer serve due to medical reasons. It's a mechanism that balances compassion with fairness, aligning with the broader principles of employee welfare and social security.